What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a model in from Winterblade. I'm really excited to check it out too. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, we are taking a look at the M-Fire. I think I had it upside down at first. This is a really interesting piece. You got a nice titanium show side with knurling. I think it's really well done. The coating on it seems phenomenal. I believe these are titanium back spacers, and then you have a carbon fiber non-show side. As you can see outside of the pivot here, you have a magnet. So we got some more magnetic magic happening here. A nice titanium pocket clip that appears to be reversible. So I do like that, even though the firing mechanism looks like it's right hand only. I could be wrong about that. We'll take a closer look here in a little while just to make sure that that is completely reversible. You have an opening hole, but you have what seems to appear as an automatic opening switch. So we're going to go ahead and check out the switch first. Yep, it definitely fires like a side opening automatic. But there's a little bit of a trick to this one. As you can see, it's not spring-loaded like an assisted or automatic knife. It's very easy to close, and then like an assisted knife, you can still use the opening hole to deploy it, and then you can swing it closed like you would a crossbar lock or a super lock if you wanted to, but I think crossbar lock is probably a little bit more appropriate, because this is the piece here that is used to disengage the magnet system that holds it open. So as far as I can tell, it looks like this magnet is facing in a direction where you have resistance here, so it pushes away from the magnet, and then it is not even with this magnet, so when you get to the point where you pass it, it's in such a place where it's pushing that magnet in to be closed. Now for the open position, because I can't take it apart to really see, I think what's happening is this switch here is working like you would see from a super lock. I can't see down in there to really tell, but as far as I can see, it looks like there's a ledge, and it kind of works like the super lock does, where it engages and disengages. So you can probably see the silver piece moving down there, but I think what's happening is it's landing on a shelf similar to what you see right here. So when this is closing, that shelf, the magnet resists and pushes it closed, and then the switch here is kind of laying on that shelf, but there's enough give on that shelf for you to overcome it and open it. So very satisfying to open and close. Ergonomically, I took it downstairs to do a little bit of cutting with it because it is a pattern. It is not mine. Great factory edge on the Vanex Super Steel. Tall, slicey, flat grind on it. And it does have a little bit of a belly to it, so it is a very nice cutter moving through the materials. And you would be able to easily pinch grip this and do some detailed work, trace cutting. Anything that you need to do as far as corners or curves would be really easy to accomplish with this, and it was super comfortable, guys. The only thing that I really noticed, the pocket clip here, being that it is a little bit higher on the body, I did feel that a little bit on the fat or on the meat, I should say, of my hand there, just because it is a little bit of a more compact design, which personally I really like for everyday carry. I think this would be an all year round knife, summertime, wintertime, wouldn't really matter. You really be able to carry this all seasons for sure. I think once you spend some time with it, I forgot to mention that earlier, once you spend some time with it and get used to the timing, it's very easy to operate one-handed. Even if you wanted to disengage it one-handed, it is so easy to get past that magnet and get onto the shelf to lock it closed, and then it has no movement at all. That's a good tug on that. I have to really pull at it for it to overcome it. So I don't worry about it bouncing open or anything like that if you happen to be running for whatever reason with this in your pocket. Very good action, as I mentioned, very smooth. Build quality feels good. It is locked up and down, side to side, no movement. The switch, it's a little tall. I think you could actually make this switch a little bit thinner. Not thinner, sorry, a little bit more low profile than what it currently is, and just take the jimping all the way across it. I actually had something in mind that I was thinking about. but I think it was something that I had in for review, and I don't have that with me. But just a little bit lower jimping, and then I would actually just say, sorry, a little bit lower profile switch with jimping all the way across. I think that would be more than sufficient. I'm not really sure what the switch with the magnet has going on with it, but it is low profile enough to where I really don't think it's an issue, and it definitely doesn't affect anything ergonomically. And I hadn't noticed anything with the switch as far as hitting it, because you have to pull it. You do land on top of it, but that jimping, if you wanted to match the knurling on the scale, maybe for attention to detail. But again, your hand lands right on top of it. Now, I did want to check really quick. If it's a T8, we'll pull it off real quick and see if this is inset. It is T8. Let's just really quick take a peek. I don't think Brian would mind me looking at this to see if this is a reversible clip or not. It is sitting flat. Would the knurling affect it any? I think this is reversible, guys. I'm not going to go all the way through the process of reversing this, because again, he is loaning this to me, and I don't want to, if it isn't, I don't want to mess anything up, so I am going to reinstall it. But it does seem like this is reversible, so I do like that a lot. All right, let's go ahead, reinstall the clip. We'll grab some knives for size comparison. Make sure those are in there snug. Yep, they are in there snug as they were before. No movement. Let's do some size comparisons. All right, I do have my Kaiser Militol out here and my Benchmade bug out. I actually thought it was going to be a little bit closer in size to the bug out, but it's actually a little bit more compact. So I was surprised by that. I hadn't pulled them out to do the size comparisons until now. So there you go. Let's do a couple more. All right, I do have the Winterblade Veyron out here for the full-size knife comparison. You can see the M-Fire is definitely more compact and really almost identical in length and similar girth to it, to that Devo Fireball. So hopefully these helped you as far as size comparisons are concerned. Let me pull the scale out here and let's check the weight on the M-Fire. All right, we got the scale out and on, guys. Let's check the weight out on the M-Fire, coming in at a very respectable 4.1 ounces. I think that's really good weight, considering that you do have some titanium on here with the carbon fiber, and of course you got the steel and the magnets. I doubt that the magnets add that much weight to it, but they're there, right? So that is something to take into consideration. Maybe it's like just at 4 or just under 4 without the two magnets on there, but I seriously doubt that they add that much weight. So a nice weight there. Again, I stand by the fact that I think this would be a very good knife to EDC daily. I don't know if maybe like an all carbon fiber version or something like that would reduce the weight even more. Again, I do believe these are titanium bits here that are sandwiching the construction together. So maybe you could do titanium and carbon fiber on both sides. I have no idea. Let me move the scale out of the way and we'll go ahead and wrap up with final thoughts and impressions. All right, guys, time for final thoughts and impressions on the M-Fire. Did I just hear a ting? Oops. Okay, I flipped it a couple times. I might be able to pick it up on camera. I doubt it. I grade on a scale of 1 to 10, guys. 10's the best, 1 is the worst. The things that I take into consideration are going to be price, performance and materials, ergos, and aesthetics. Those are all things that I take into account. Again, this one is a little bit more expensive. You're dealing with a designer who is depending on a manufacturer to make it for them. They have to make a profit, and then he needs to be able to make a profit in order to be able to do additional models and continue to innovate. You're also talking about having a manufacturer work with magnets and having to do the legwork on the magnets to make sure that this is going to function as intended. So there's a lot going on here, and I do appreciate that, but it is a more expensive knife. So I do take that into account. For me, I'm actually going to go at an 8.2. I like the knife a lot. I think that's probably like a really high score on my system. Again, super hard to get into the 9s and 10s. That's absolute perfection. What holds it back for me is going to be a little bit on the price. Where this magnet button has to be for this particular model, I do kind of feel that there. I do feel the pocket clip back here. So those are little nitpicky things that I use to bring the score down and really, to be honest with you, on where I'm at ergonomically. The function of the knife, the build quality, and everything that is involved with the knife, I think is really awesome. I think, again, he is continuing to do some serious innovations here, and I really like where he's headed with this particular one. I don't know that he'll ever be able to ever be able to work out something that's super affordable. You would have to trust working with manufacturers like Kubi or QSP, or someone that you could trust to do a quality product that is still going to be somewhat good to work with, right? I think when you work with Best Tech and when you work with Rayot, they're charging more, but they're paying for a higher representation to make it easier to work with third parties like this when it comes to being an OE for a knife. So there's a lot of variable and factors that go into that, and I think that's part of what that is with this one. I really like this model. I think out of the Veyron and the M-Fire, I think I like the M-Fire more, only because it's a little bit more compact in size. To me, I feel like the blade to handle ratio on this one is really well done. There may be room to go out a little bit more, but it does have a wrapping backspacer on it, so I do appreciate that. Maybe it's just because it's smaller that I don't notice the blade to handle being off. If it is, it's not as obvious, I guess is what I'm saying. But I think I like the J-Lock. I think that is really, really cool. But this one here, just a little bit more satisfying. I'm not paying directly attention to what I'm doing right here, but a little bit more satisfying to deploy on this one. And I'm wondering if that's because the magnet and the lock itself really keep that nested in there. The other thing that I think is really cool is this is like a polished DLC. I'm sure you can probably see my fingerprints all over it. Whereas the one on the Veyron is just a matte DLC. So I like the polish. I think that spruces it up a little bit. And again, just trying to pick on things that I think I like a little bit better. That's why this one scored a little bit higher. Let me know what you think about the M-Fire down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Special shout out to my channel members. You guys, with that loyal support, really help the channel. If you're interested in doing any shopping, I do have affiliate links down in the description. I will also link Winterblades, who I am not affiliate with, down in the description for you to go and check out his products and release dates, because I think there is small batches of the M-Fire coming potentially. I'm not 100% sure. I know that I saw something about small batches coming to his site, so definitely check his site and check his social media for those communications if you're interested in any of these. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be appreciated. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. It does help when you support the channel with a subscription. I'm out of here, guys. I hope you have a great week. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.